Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I actually wanted to break down an image that we got. There's a new teaser image that I do want to break down, talk about that character, and I also wanted to get into some of your guys' questions. So obviously, before going any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. The show is premiering in just 19 days from today. So yeah, definitely very, very exciting. Obviously, tomorrow is the big premiere for The Ones Who Live, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out tomorrow. I'm also keeping an eye on the Television Critics Association 24 or whatever. I guess they're holding I think it's like a press day sort of thing. So I think a lot of the actors and stuff are doing like interviews and whatnot. And so I'm just curious if they will be talking about The Ones Who Live at all, if there's going to be sort of a confirmation on certain things regarding, whether or not we're getting a season 2, just really anything like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on that because there might be some new stuff that does come out. They are talking a lot about like Interview with the Vampire and all of that. So there's a lot of that. I don't know if they're going to be talking about The Ones Who Live. They might. And if they do, and if there's anything worthy of doing a video on, obviously I will do a video immediately on that. So yeah, a lot going on right now. So definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. But let's also get into what else I wanted to talk about here. And that is the new teaser image that we do have for the new character in The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Now, I've been wanting to know more about this character for a while, like a lot more about this character, because we don't know anything about him. And, based off of the trailer, 2 trailers now, he's actually a pretty big part of the trailers. And they didn't announce anything in terms of casting, and there was quite a bit of stuff like that I was just like who is this character? His voice is in the trailer. Like, he literally seems like a big character in the show. But now, yeah, I saw this here. There's this image here that I got from at TWalkingDWorld on Twitter. And apparently this character's name is Lieutenant Colonel Donald, I'm probably gonna mess up his last name here, but it's Okafor or something like that. So I'll just say Lieutenant Colonel Donald until we actually hear the pronunciation in the show. Because I was messing up the Croat's name for so long, and as soon as we heard the pronunciation on the show, I was like, oh, so that's how you say it. But yeah, so we have a new character here, played by Craig Tate. He will be playing a character named Lieutenant Colonel Donald, and so obviously his name being Lieutenant Colonel, I believe that's the same exact position as Elizabeth Kublik, right? I could be wrong about that. Like, the position could be different, but I'm pretty sure she was actually Lieutenant Colonel Elizabeth Kublik. I could be wrong, but that's very, very interesting. So he has a pretty high ranking here at the CRM. So that makes me really, really curious about the character because, his voiceover in the first trailer, it could be in the second one as well. I don't remember if that was actually in that trailer, but in the first one, he says something like, it's the most powerful military on the planet or whatever. And obviously if he's risen in ranks to this point here, I mean, he's seen that, right? Like, he knows what other military forces are out there, this and that. I wonder who he's talking to when he's saying that. I'm guessing it's going to be Rick, just because a line like that, to me, you're not saying that to Jadis. Like, Jadis already knows that kind of thing, right? So you're probably saying it to somebody who doesn't really know. So that I think that makes sense that you could be saying it to Rick, right? So I'm actually very interested in this character because I think that he is going to be a pretty big character here. And I wonder if he's going to be somebody that we see a little bit more than Major General Beale, because Major General Beale, to me, I feel like he's going to be like the big bad that we don't see a lot, right? Like, if you think of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Madame Genet, we did see her quite a bit, but she was sort of, she stayed, I guess, just where she was safe and all of that, right? And then we saw other characters and like the other villains a lot more, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Lieutenant Colonel Donald would be considered a villain because he's with the CRM, right? Like, I think that's what's kind of tricky about some of the casting and stuff and some of the characters here with the CRM is that we're just going to assume all of them are villains, but it could be totally different. Like, they could just be doing this just because obviously that they're sort of forced to do it, right? Jadis, I would say for sure is a villain. Like, I'm pretty confident in saying that she is a villain. She might act like she's not a villain, but I believe that she's really in it for herself. I think she's going to focus entirely on herself and nothing else. And so that's why I think no matter what, if that aligns with Rick, then yeah, obviously she would be more of the hero in that sense. But I just feel like overall she is probably going to be a villain here in this show. So yeah, definitely very cool. I'm excited to meet this character. I think we'll probably see him in episode 1. I think he'll be a fan favorite. But yeah, let's actually get into the Q&A here. I keep waiting for any sort of new update from the Television Critics Association because I know AMC is holding an event there and it seems like they're going to be talking with The Ones Who Live, but yeah, nothing is happening yet. But anyways, let's get into the first question here. So Q&A, do you think The Ones Who Live will have more than 2 seasons if it wasn't a limited series? So I'm going to combine this with another question here because I'm getting this question quite a bit. And That's the thing. This is something that people are really talking about a lot right now. Like, a lot of people are talking about the idea that The Ones Who Live will get a season 2, and it is just something that people really, like, they're just talking about a lot. Like, again, this is going to be something that is really talked about quite a bit, and I said before that this talk will probably go away quite a bit as soon as the show premieres, but like, it feels like as we get more and more information, as we're seeing more teasers, you know, fans just want a lot more. And so the questions of like, is there going to be a season 2? People just really, really want that. And so I'll just say, as of now, to answer this question quickly, because I know I've talked about this a lot, and people probably, again, unless we get confirmation right away that there could be a season 2, which I guess could technically come today. Like, if they're talking about The Ones Who Live, they could just announce it today, but then again, they could announce it any day, right? So I guess to answer your question, like, do I think The Ones Who Live would have been more than 2 seasons or whatever if it wasn't a limited series? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I feel like the limited series thing, they could just renew it if they want to. Like, it's more of just what they're sort of announcing. Like, if you think about World Beyond, like, that show is completely done, right? Like, the end of that show is done. But like, I feel like if they wanted to do a season 3, they could, right? They could do a season 3 of World Beyond right now. So yeah, I just feel like, and actually, I just got this confirmation right here that I'm seeing from the TWDU, or the Walking Dead Universe promos on Twitter, that there are still 3 more AMC panels before The Ones Who Live cast and crew take the stage. So I'm guessing that's actually going to be a pretty big event here. So I'll answer the rest of the questions here, but I will do a video, I guess, on that, because there's probably going to be some stuff that they do talk about. And yeah, we'll get into a lot of that there. But anyways, next question. Q&A, if we ever got a Tobias and Roy spinoff, what would you want it to be about? Man, I mean, first of all, Roy is dead, but if if he was alive, I mean, that'd be really cool. Roy's a really cool character. Tobias, he's a really amazing character. I love Tobias so much. Like, there are certain characters that I get very, very just like, or at least I got so frustrated with whenever they would like bring them up. Like, just after a certain point, like Morales, those theories were just going around forever and ever and ever. And I was just like, okay, I can't take this anymore. And then there was Heath. Heath is a character that I love. Heath as a character. Like, in the comic, he was absolutely incredible. Corey Hawkins, I love him as an actor. And I think, like, I've actually seen something recently that he was in, and it looks really, really incredible. I would want him to come back, but I just don't see the actor having the interest to, because I believe he left The Walking Dead to do other things. So I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's why. So I just don't see Heath ever coming back. But Tobias, I would love for him to come back in some way. But I just feel like, because of where the story ended in season 1, and just, just where that character went, like, they never addressed him after that. I just feel like it's never going to happen unless they did a Tales of the Walking Dead episode that just focused on that character and what his life has been like over the last however many years, right? Could we get The Walking Dead Angel spinoff, or I guess a Walking Angel spinoff, and finally get to see Shane, Carl, and Glenn again? Oh man. Again, I would love for them to do a what if series. Just something like that would be really cool. I don't know if you can get the actors to come back. That would be a lot. But if there was a way you could just do it animated and get the actors to just voice their characters, I think that would be so incredible. Honestly, that would be so incredible. So many people would watch that, and it would be a bigger hit than Tales of the Walking Dead. Like, these are the type of spinoffs that people really want to see. Q&A, do you think the title of the show, The Ones Who Live, gives away any kind of indication on where the story will go? The Ones Who Live, I mean, I feel like that's just more about who Rick and Michonne are, right? Like, they are the ones who live, and everyone else on The Walking Dead, like, they are the ones who live as well. But I feel like this show is just really focused on Rick and Michonne, because they're going through so much that, they're so stressed out. They're all of this is going on in their lives, but they are the ones who live. And in a world where everyone's dying and it's just such a hard world to live in, I think that's just more of what the title is there. And to me, I think that, again, I still, a part of me still would prefer The Walking Dead Rick and Michonne or some other type of title, but I feel like this spinoff is going to be more than one season, and I think should focus on characters other than Rick and Michonne. But I think Rick and Michonne will be the lead characters, but I just mean more if, like, in season 2, if Morgan shows up, right? Like, you don't want to run into a whole Daryl situation again where, like, they called the show The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, and then in season 2, Carol's coming back, right? And so now you have to add something else as a title, like The Book of Carol. To me, you should have just called it something different, and this way for season 2, you didn't have to change the title, right? Q&A, do you think Rick knows where Daryl is? If so, how do you think he knows? I'll say that I don't think he knows where Daryl is, because I think that would be a lot for him to know. Q&A, do you think Pearl Thorne helped Rick escape and she chose to stay when she could have gone with him? I'm gonna say no, just because of that one line she has in that teaser. I think it's the first trailer, actually. I'm not sure when it was, but she says something like, you know, you prove to me why I'm never going to be able to leave this place, basically. It's something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. So I think, I don't think she's going to help out in any way. I think she's going to see Rick leave and, you know, be like, you're insane for trying to leave this place. And then when he comes back and then, yeah, I think she'll just be like, you know, if you escaped it and you got caught and now you're back here, and depending on what Rick's punishment was for doing that, I feel like she's just like, no, I'm not going through that, you know? So I don't think she was helping Rick at all. I think Rick probably just escaped on his own, to be honest. Q&A, what do you think it means when Michonne says they need a sacrifice, like in the trailer for The Ones Who Live, and who do you think it might be? Well, I don't think she's actually talking about a person at all. I think that she's probably just meaning like people in life just kind of, you know, you make sacrifices for things, and that's just something that you do, you know, for the people that you love, kind of thing. So I think that's just more of what she's actually referencing there. I don't think it's anything else. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to do this Q&A really quick here. Again, there's still going to be 3 more panels here for AMC according to the Walking Universe promo. So if they do announce anything for The Ones Who Live, I will do a video on that immediately. But yeah, as of now, we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.